Welcome to Shooting the Breeze. My name is Tanya Kappas, and I am a cozy mystery author who is excited to bring you a fun podcast where we answer reader questions and bring you amazing interviews from your favorite cozy mystery authors. Come, hang out, and let's just shoot the breeze. Hi, and welcome to Shooting the Breeze. Today, I'm so excited to welcome cozy mystery author Karen McSpade today. Hello, Karen, and welcome.
Hey, thank you, Tanya, for inviting me. It's so exciting to be on your show with you today.
I'm super excited that you're part of our Twisty Tales year-long event with Prolific Works. It's actually ending at the end of this month. I can't believe it's already been a year.
I know, and it really has flown by.
It has. But the best news is that our listeners and our readers can still get your book for the next 3 weeks for free in the Twisty Tales and Cozy Crimes, which is Murder at High Sea. But first, before we get into this, let me introduce you as your bio. Let's see. Karen McSpade was raised in Arkansas River Valley. She grew up with a fishing pole in one hand and her trusty 410 shotgun in the other. Sounds like my kind of gal. Exploring the woods around her hometown while hunting with her father kept her entertained and out of jail, as her mom liked to say. As a child, her most prized possession were her books and her Michael Jackson album collection. These led her to a brief venture into breakdancing, and poetry slamming before discovering her true passion, bringing stories and characters to life. Today, she's focused on 2 things that still inspire her creativity: her love of food and dishing up mysteries with a dash of humor. Karen's novels feature compassionate and strong-willed leading ladies determined to uncover the truth and seek justice. She loves creating stories filled with mystery, romance, magic, and adventure that allows readers to join her characters on their journey, leaving behind the real world for a few hours at a time. When Karen's not writing, her favorite things are spending time with family, traveling, cooking, reading, gardening, and enjoying nature. She lives in Northwest Arkansas with her family and a very spoiled Wheaten Terrier who doubles as her writing assistant. That's a really fun bio. I love it.
Well,
Karen.
it's just the truth. I used to break dance in my teens. I actually competed in breakdancing competitions, and I was the only girl at the time that was competing. So it was always
Oh
me
my gosh.
against all these really great guy break dancers. But yeah, I won a regional competition, and it was pretty cool. My school had me compete at one of the basketball games. They brought me out as the halftime show, and I brought my breakdancing instructor, and so we did a routine together. Of course, I always joke about it because when I tell people that, I always joke about it because I used to break dance and I used to poetry slam. And I said, at my age, if I tried to do either one of those today, I'd break a hip or a lip. So I try to stay clear of the break dancing and the poetry slamming. But those were my things I was into as a teenager, and I loved it. So.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I could never break dance. I mean, I was fascinated in the 80s of watching my friends or just going to the park and watching people do it. It was fascinating. It's still fascinating. I mean, how they can twirl and contort, all their bodies and, just do all that stuff. I think that is so cool. And I also love that you go fishing.
Yeah,
and that
I'm
you have
a
a
big
shotgun.
outdoor.
I got all that too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I love about you. When I started reading your books, I'm like, oh my God, she's my sister from another mister. Like we
Yeah,
you know,
are.
yeah. So
I
I love
love
being
that.
outdoors. My dad and he used to joke and say, you're the son I always wanted to have because I have 2 younger brothers.
Yeah.
They've since passed away, unfortunately, but
Oh, I'm
my
sorry.
dad used to always joke that you're the brother or the son that I always wanted to have, because he'd be like, come on, kids, I'm going hunting. Who wants to go? And my brothers would be,
Yeah.
I don't want to go. And I'd be like, I'll go because I love to shoot the gun. And,
Oh,
my dad
yeah.
just made every excursion out in the woods a fun, memorable time in my childhood. So,
Oh my gosh, same. I mean, one of
yeah.
my most fond memories is going hog killing. You know, we would
Yeah.
go hog killing and then we'd eat it at night. But oh my gosh, we would go out in the woods in the nighttime to find these wild hogs. And,
Yeah.
you know, it was so much fun. So yeah, I love that. That is
Yeah. My
so
dad was a big
fun.
hunter, big fisher, and I just loved doing all those things with him. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he made my childhood a lot of fun growing up. And my brothers never
Yeah.
wanted to go do any of that with him. So that's why he used to say, "You're the son I always wanted to have." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll be your
I love it.
son."
I love it. And so, but you know, being from the South, you're in Arkansas, which is really South. And so a lot of people say, oh, Kentucky's kind of borderline South, but we pretty much consider ourselves Southern here in Kentucky as
Oh, I
well. And
definitely,
so
yeah,
we
I
do a
think of
lot of
Kentucky as Southern
hunting.
too.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of hunting and a front porch sitting and all that good stuff too. But yeah, I even have a pond outside of my house that's pretty big. It's stocked, so we fish. Oh gosh, if not daily, at least every other day, just go out there and
I
throw and
love that.
release.
I've
And
seen
I
some
could
of your
just,
videos where you
yeah,
show
I could
like
just sit
animals
out
at
there.
night.
Yeah. Yeah, here in the middle of the woods, which is
Yeah,
my
yeah.
sanctuary. I love it. And I
Oh,
just said to my husband last night, we have not left this hill in days. We have got to get out tomorrow, but here we
we
sit.
have not left the hill.
And I'm good with that. I am so good with
Oh,
that.
I love it. I
Oh
love
my
it.
gosh, but I could just chat with you forever. But anyways, we better get on and talk about you as an author.
Yeah,
You know, before we started recording here, I got to talking with Karen how she has so many books, and she informed me that she has only been doing this for about 2 years. I
yeah.
mean, Karen, I love that. Give us a little insight to your publishing career.
Well, it doesn't start out very glamorous.
Mine
So
didn't either.
I actually came from the corporate world. I worked for Walmart and Sam's Club for almost 20 years. That's why I'm in Northwest Arkansas, because their home office is here.
Okay. Well,
And
I'm a Walmart junkie. I mean, I love Walmart. I mean, some people are like, oh my gosh, I can't say it. I thrive on going to Walmart. I mean, I even order it online and go pick it up if I have to.
yeah,
I love Walmart.
well, I'm in their home office area. So everything around here is Walmart, Sam's Club. And I worked for them for almost 20 years, and I got laid off in 2017. And I thought, you know what? It's a numbers game. I get it. It's business, and everybody's number is going to come up at some point. I'm just going to look at this as an opportunity to do something different. And so I was like, well, what do I want to do? You know, because I hadn't really thought about it. When you get laid off, it's not like you've got a backup plan. You know, if I get laid off, this is
Yeah.
what I'm going to do. Well, so I was like, well, what am I going to do? And I started thinking, well, what am I good at? You know, and my background is in theater. I have a master's degree in theater. I have done film work. I've done theater work. And so
Wow.
I thought, you know, but in Arkansas, there's not a ton of opportunities for me to use that degree. So I was like, well, unless I'm ready to move to a bigger city, you know, I'm probably not going to be able to fall back on that degree. And so I thought, well, you know, what else am I good at? And I thought, well, public speaking, you know, with my theater background, I do great at public speaking. I love to tell stories. So I thought, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. And I did. So for about 2 years, I started doing a lot of public speaking, and I loved
Wow.
it. I loved it. I was speaking mainly to corporations on change management. So I was doing leadership talks, but I loved it. And then COVID hit. And I'm like, oh my God, now I can't do this anymore. What am I going to do? And I didn't have a backup plan to my backup plan. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so I can't do public speaking because I wasn't really set up to do it well virtually. I didn't have like the right equipment. And, you know, my office is nothing fancy. Like if I was doing online speaking, this is what
I'm in my
people would think.
kitchen.
Yeah. I'm
I
like,
get you.
okay, well, what do I do now? And so I thought, well, I love to write. And I had some stories that I had already written.
Now,
And I
was
was
it
like,
poetry stories or like stories?
stories
Okay.
that I had already written just because I enjoy it, right? So it was
Right.
something I did for fun, basically. And I thought, well, you know, I wonder if I could publish my stories. And I had published a book before. So I kind of knew the process a little bit. But I was like, I don't know really what I'm doing. But I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to get out there and put my best work out there and just see how it goes. And so I did. And then Murder and Grits was my first book.
Yes, I have that right here.
Yeah, so that was my first book that I published. And it was an awesome process. I started getting people in my email list. I gave away a free book that was an intro, a prequel to this book. And I was like, I think I can do this, So, and I reached out to you really early on because I love your books. And I was like, well, I'm just going to reach out to Tanya and just tell her she won't know who I am, but I'm just going to tell her I'm brand new. I'm trying to, figure out this world of publishing and being an author. And you were so kind. You're like, oh, I really appreciate you just throwing yourself out on a limb. You may not remember when I emailed you, but I was like,
I remember vaguely, but
yeah, I was like, hey, you don't know who I am. I'm a brand new author. I've got this one little book out, and you were like,
and I was like,
I really appreciate you for sticking yourself out there. Because you said what you said in the email was you had to do that too. You said I had to put myself out there.
Yeah.
And reach out to people. And so anyway,
and
that's
as a matter of fact, when the Twisty Tales came up, I thought, oh, I'm gonna contact her and see if I can help her get some people on her mailing list. And so that's how my thought process was to contact you about the Twisty Tales.
Yeah, and that's how I got in this was because I reached out to you. So sometimes you just have to throw yourself out there and just believe that you can or you will find a way, right?
A mindset game. And I truly believe that I could do it. I said to myself, I'm gonna throw myself out there and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't I didn't worry about what other people were saying, how many people were following me, how many people liked me, on all the social medias. I was just like, you know what? I'm writing these books and I'm having a blast. And as long as I'm vibing with that, I think that the world is going to bring me who I need to help escape, which is what you've also said in your bio, the same thing,
Yeah.
I felt the exact same way.
Well, and and I want to just mention this because I think it's important for the people that read cozy mysteries. But there were two reasons I really wanted to write cozy mystery. One is my niece and nephew, who I'm very, very close to, they did not grow up liking to read because my brother died really young from cancer. And so he was kind of that influence that read books to them, but they were pretty young when he passed away. And their mom has a lot of mental health issues. And so they just never really got introduced to books. And I wanted them to read because I grew up with books my escape as a child was to jump in my yellow beanbag with my favorite book. I mean, that was like, and so to find out that they didn't read, it bothered me like at a spiritual level. Like, I'm like, a kid that doesn't like to read, like, you're not going to grow up right. You're not, So I was like, I want to write cozy mystery because I want it to be something that I can sort of introduce to them as they get a little bit older and say, hey, read this book. And so that was one reason I kind of geared towards writing cozy mystery, because I wanted them to be able to read more books. And they have read my books. So I feel really good about that.
I love that.
But the other reason I wanted to do cozy mystery is it's fun for me to write. And I'm sure, Tanya, you would agree. It's a fun genre to write in.
Yes.
And I've had a lot of sadness in my life. I've lost both of my younger brothers very tragically. They died very suddenly, very tragically. And my dad passed away very tragically. So I've had a lot of sadness in my own life. And just to do something that brings me joy makes it worth it. It's like, I want to do something that makes me happy. And my hope is that as people read my books, it fills them with joy too.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, let's talk about this series. This is the Piper Sandstone Savory Mystery Series. Let me read a little bit about this.
Sure.
Going undercover just got complicated. She's a Chicago detective hiding in a Gulf Coast town with a lot to prove and everything to lose. I love that about the series description there. And we'll talk about your Prolific Works book, but tell us a little bit about this series. Is this the first series that you wrote? Because you've got all sorts of, you've got paranormal stuff. You've got, so is this the first series that you put out?
Yes, this was my very first series that I published in October of 2021. So this October will be 2 years for me.
And how many books have you published since this first book?
I think 22, I think.
That is mind-boggling. Like that is a lot of books in 2 years.
Well,
you're not even in 2 years yet. Well, did you say May of 2021?
October of 2021. So it's coming up on 2 years.
Coming up, so 2 years. That's a lot of books to to publish within 2 years. I think it's great.
Well, I think what helped me get started is I had some of this done before I started publishing. And so I was sort of like, I've already got some content. So that kind of gave me a jump start. And now I'm at the place where I'm like, okay, I need to really get on the writing, because now, I've got to keep making sure that I've got new stuff coming up. But this was my very first series that I published. And it's a fun, action-packed, culinary, cozy mystery.
I love me some grits.
I am a foodie. Yeah. And I wanted to put a book out with some of my own recipes. So there are some of my own recipes in this book. So the main heroine, of course, had to work at a cafe, but she's an undercover detective who basically, in a nutshell, botched a secret assignment that she had. She blew it. And so she gets sent away to hide out in, of course, Savory, Alabama, because it's a culinary cozy mystery. So I'm like, well, where would it be set? Of course, it would be set in Savory. Of course. Where else? So she gets sent down there. And of course, she meets these older women through her work at the cafe. They're the Dentures and Diamonds crime squad. And they're these 4 amazing women. They're hilarious. They are so funny, and they were so fun to create and write. But they're, the 4 senior sleuths in the story who sort of serve as mentors for the heroine Piper Sandstone. And so they join forces. These 5 women kind of join forces to protect Savory from murder and mayhem. So I
love that.
Yeah. So that's
now, how many books are in this series right here?
So in this series, and it's one that I'm actually continuing, because I've got a couple of new, I've got a couple of new Piper Sandstone, but so far there are 10 books in this series.
Oh, I love that. So let's jump over to this book, because this, your Twisty Tales book, Murder at High Sea, is a spinoff sort of that series. So let me read about this book that our readers can grab for free for the next 3 weeks. 4 legendary female rock stars, 1 killer cruise performance. And when their tour manager lands the Delta Queens headlining show aboard the Ovation, the lady sees the opportunity to revive their musical career and grab one last shot at fame and fortune. But there's one thing standing in the way of their success: murder at high seas. Oh my gosh. After the rehearsal session goes awry and a member of the crew is murdered, Doris, Rosemary, Margie, and Patty Sue are caught in the spotlight of possible suspects without an alibi. To make matters worse, the ship's captain has an unconventional idea about how to best deal with the situation. The ladies don't want to follow her heartless plan. But if they cross hairs with the captain one more time, it could cost them their career or get them thrown overboard. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. So before we talk about that, tell us how this is a kind of a crossover from the Savory series.
So in the Savory series, the senior sleuths, the Dentures and Diamonds crime squad, also known as the Delta Queens, they're in their 60s in that series. They're in their 60s, anywhere from mid to late 60s,
which I love.
Yeah, and my readers just love them. They're like, oh my God, we love the Delta Queens, love the Dentures and Diamonds crime squad, wish they had their own story. And I was like, okay, what could I do? What could I do? And I thought, you know what? I'll write their origin story, because I had set them up to be as part of their backstory. The Delta Queens were a Southern all-girl rock band. And so I thought, ooh, we need an origin story where they're actually touring as their rock band, right? How fun would that be to write? And so that is how Murder at High Sea was kind of born. It's like, I want to have them play the headlining show on a cruise ship, because I had just gotten back from a cruise from Alaska. So sometimes beautiful. Things like that'll like spur an idea. You know, I'm like, oh, it should be a cruise story, and they'll be the headlining show, and it'll be a musical cruise, which I've never been on a musical cruise, but I've had friends that have gone on them, and they said, oh my God, it's amazing. It's like a concert every night, you know. And I thought, well, that would be cool. Let's just make
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
There are musical cruises.
I got to come off the hill.
Yeah, come down off the hill, Tanya. my
No,
gosh.
I didn't know that there were musical cruises. That's
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I've never done one, but I've had a friend that she goes on them all the time, and she said it's like a concert every night.
I love it. Yeah, I
So,
love
so
that.
yeah, so it's them when they're in their 30s. So the story takes place 30 years earlier. So you get to meet them, and this is kind of how they fall in love with sleuthing. This is their introduction to solving a murder mystery.
Oh my gosh. So I have to ask now, is this going to be a introduction to a brand new series that's like starting in your head?
I don't know. I want to see what my readers say, because not everybody has read it yet. Like, I've had a lot
Right.
of people on my list that have claimed it through the Prolific
Right.
Works, and I've had people go, I want to buy it when it comes out. I'm like, well, you can get it free now, but if you
Yeah.
you don't want to buy it, that's great.
Same. Oh, same. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, get it right now
So
while it's
you haven't
free.
decided what you want to do. Well, the cover is beautiful.
Oh, thank you,
I
thank
love
you.
that. Now, do you have somebody that does your covers?
I actually have worked with, let's see, two two different cover artists, or three. I actually three, because I had someone that did my paranormal covers,
Yeah, they're
which you can
beautiful. Here,
see.
I'll take this down. Hold on.
Uh,
So we can see. Yeah, go ahead.
so my
They're
paranormal covers
beautiful.
are, a little bit more detailed.
Oh, yeah.
But then I have a designer who does because my readers really like these simplified covers.
Oh, yeah,
I
same.
tried doing a cozy mystery cover that looks more like a traditional cozy
Traditional
mystery, and
cozy.
they hated it. They're like, it's too
Yeah.
busy. I don't like all that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't like all that? So I actually redesigned this one and made it simple. I'm like,
I
well, I'll
love
just,
it. My holiday series is very simple, and my Kenny Lowry series is simple, and they love it.
yeah, my
Yeah.
readers are like, I don't like all that detail in the cover. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm trying to make it look like a typical cozy mystery,
Yeah,
but
which is
you're the ones
difficult.
buying my books.
I
So
love it. But I do love I love all of the flowers, and the guitar cracks me up. And I mean, it just is, there's so many elements in this particular cover that it all goes well together. And you can't miss the cute little skull, the little skull over there, the
yeah,
skull
the skull and
cloud.
crossbones out of the clouds.
Love it. I love it. And some of those little details, even in my cover back here, which isn't even the real cover. This is the wrong cover. But you can see that the details are on the sign of the skull. And so a lot of
Yeah,
people are like, oh, I don't know, it's a mystery. But when you look at but this isn't even the right cover. This is a wrong cover. I just keep it up there because it's cute. But
yeah,
anyways, but yeah, so I love your cover, and I love that this, because I just can't imagine them not having their own series that leads into them being older. But I'm not saying that you have to write that series, but I would read that if you write that
yeah.
series.
Well, and I kind of like to see what my readers think. Like, I put something out there, and then I wait to see, I get their feedback.
Yeah,
I'm like, because that's how this story came up, is they said they wanted a story with the older women as the main
right.
sleuth. And I
I
thought,
love
okay,
it.
I can do that. Yeah, I
I
can do
love
that.
it. I think that is fascinating. I think that's fascinating. So tell me about so this book right now, Murder at High Sea, again, is free, and all
Yes.
the links are down below. It's free until September 30th. And also you have the opportunity to sign up for Karen's newsletter if you want to, which I encourage you to do. So Karen, tell us just a smidge about your newsletter.
Yeah, so my newsletter, I really try to have a lot of fun with my readers, because, like I said, part of why I'm writing Cozy Mystery is to create joy for myself and for others. And
Yes.
so I like to have a lot of fun with my readers. I share jokes, I share funny memes, games, mystery puzzles, crossword puzzles. I try to, always pack my newsletter full of value so
Yeah.
that they're excited to hear from me.
I love
And
it. How
yeah.
often? How often do you put it out?
I used to email my readers 3 times a week, and then I sent out a survey, and I'm like, what do you think? Do you like my emails? What do you like? What would you want different? And they're like, well, not so many. So now I do 2 a week. I do one on
Oh,
Monday, and they get one on Friday. So 2 a week.
oh, good. Yeah, I do two
Yeah.
a week as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do 2 a week, because otherwise, then I have to shove too much in it, right? If I don't
Right.
communicate with them often enough, then I'm having to put too much about what's going on, and I really want it
Yeah.
to be focused more on, hey, here's some things that I know you want, right?
Yeah.
So twice a week seems to be a good cadence. They seem to be happy with that cadence. So
yeah, I love that. So I encourage everybody to sign up. Also, run and grab Murder at High C, currently free. I can't express that enough.
Free.
I know. And then all these interviews that I'm doing and your video here will be outdated in a month, but that's okay. They'll still get to meet you and get to know you and be able to purchase this book then. So is there anything that you'd like to say to the readers while you're hanging out here?
I would love to. So one thing, because this is something I'm trying new this year, but I'm taking my books wide. So if you're not an Amazon shopper, because previously the only way you could get my books was through Amazon. So I'm experimenting with taking everything wide. So if you like paperbacks, if you like audiobooks, my series are starting to come out in audiobooks. So however you like to consume content, I hope that you'll give my books a try. They're a lot of fun. Readers have said they're kind of a roller coaster between humor and suspense. So if you like that mixture of fun, humorous, but suspenseful, I think you'll enjoy my books. And just give them a try however you like to read. I'm trying to put content out there where you can find it how you like to read.
That's awesome. Now tell us where we can stalk you.
You can stalk me on Facebook. I need to get better with my socials. I'm only on Facebook under Karen McSpade, author. I'm also now on TikTok, which, by the way, Tanya, I just have to tell you, your TikTok intro video of Mae West is hilarious.
Thank you.
I laugh so hard. I about wet my pants. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh!
But I'm on TikTok now, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll just throw that out there. But I'm on there.
Me either.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still trying to learn how to use the app on my phone, so it's a learning curve.
Me too. My kids are mortified that I'm on TikTok, and I'm like,
mortified?
y'all, they're not even there. I mean, they don't even live at home. They're adults. They've all graduated from school. They've all graduated from college. They're in their career. They're like, get off TikTok. I'm like, shush up.
You've got your own life now. Go live it. I'm learning TikTok.
Don't pay attention to me.
Yeah, that's funny. So TikTok, Facebook, of course, through my newsletter,
and your website.
Eventually, I'll be probably on Instagram at some point once I can figure that out.
That's my favorite.
Oh, you love Instagram? Okay, I have played with it. I just don't know enough to start my own page yet. So
it's addicting to me. I love it. So, anyways, and then we can also find you at KarenMcSpade.com.
I don't have a full website yet. It's kind of it's in progress. I wanted to get ahead on my publishing a little bit, and then I can take a step back.
No problem.
So still getting my website up to par. I've actually got somebody now that can help me because I'm technical is not my forte.
Yeah.
So I need somebody that's smarter than me when it comes to that stuff.
Well, maybe not that. Maybe it's just that I don't want to do that kind of stuff. I want to write the fun stuff. You take care of the other stuff.
Yeah, I need somebody to do that for me, but I am getting that worked on, and hopefully it will be up, I would say, sometime this fall.
That's awesome. Okay, but you know what? Still, we're going to link. This video will be around forever. Until somebody kicks me off YouTube or Spotify or any of the podcasts.
I love your show.
Well, thank you. But anyways, we'll put your links down definitely to Facebook and TikTok, and we'll put your Twisty Tales book link up where they can go directly to grab your book and sign up for your newsletter. Karen, my gosh, thank you so much. I've kept you for almost a half of an hour. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much for coming. It's just, I just love to connect with people that I feel a kindred spirit with. So
definitely.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Karen, for being here. We really appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
What a fun interview. I would love to thank today's guest for sharing with us their edition in the Twisty Tales and Cozy Crime Prolific Works giveaway, year-long giveaway. So be sure to grab this episode's book for free, and you can do that by going to the show notes and grabbing that link. And also, don't forget to be sure that you follow and stalk this week's Spotlight author. Thank you so much. And we will see you next week on Shooting the Breeze.